Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video, and in today's video I'll be playing Graves in the Baron lane. And let me tell you right now that this champion is absolutely broken in the new update. I chose a game where I got wrecked in the early game. I chose it on purpose because there were many games where I was like 7-0, 8-0, enemies surrendered, or I just completely dominated them. I did not want to upload a game like that. I wanted to upload a more perhaps relatable video where like I really play a big losing lane. So I'm really sure that you guys are really gonna enjoy this video. By the way, real quick, I picked the 15 winners of the skin giveaway. There is a video in the description that shows you how I picked them. I also picked the winners to the wild pass. And for the new month, I'm actually gonna do something new. I'm gonna be giving away 10 skins on YouTube. And I'm gonna be way more active on Instagram. So I will be giving away 5 skins on Instagram as well. And the way that I'm gonna pick the winners is I'm gonna pick a random comment. And the first time that I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna pick random comments from all my posts. And then afterwards I'll start picking comments every month from, you know, basically the same as YouTube. So if you wanna enter the giveaway, put a comment under this video and check out my Instagram. You're not obligated to do it, you can. It's just an option. Okay, let's now talk about how to... Let's now talk about how to build Graves. So I played like 50 games of Graves for this video, and I tested out a lot of builds. I tried full lethality Graves. It's definitely good, but guys, these new items are way better. Let me explain to you immediately. So Nafori's Quickblade, first item. Now, okay, I said it before, never build this item as your first item because it's not good. But let me tell you, so it's true that this is not a really good first item because you're not gonna have a lot of crit to utilize the passive. But the point of building this item first is saving it for later. And let me tell you why you should build it first, because this item is worth it second item. It's already worth it to build as your second item. But you never want to start with a Solaris Charge Blade on Graves. That's why you start with the Quick Blade, with the Nafori's Quick Blade. So you go for the Nafori's Quick Blade and then a Solaris Charge Blade. But I want to tell you one thing real quick here. There is a BF sword in the middle. By the way, I got this build from the Origin series from Doom. And I'll show you more builds that I tried, but this is the favorite one. So you start with the Nafori's Quick Blades and then you build into the BF sword. This combo is going to give you 85 attack damage and the crit. This is absolutely insane. Now, the reason that you build BF Sword instead of immediately go for a Solaris Charge Blade is because of the burst damage that this provides you. Your first ability is going to do an insane amount of damage, your ultimate, and basically just, you know, when you do basic attack, third ability, basic attack, the combo is just devastating with these two items. Absolutely devastating. So the boost that you want to get is, generally I go for Glutinous Greaves for the lifesteal because no items that you go for provide you any lifesteal. So Glutinous Greaves is going to be incredibly helpful for you to build, and in 90% of the games I would actually recommend it. Only if the enemy is full attack damage, you could go for Plated Steel Caps, or if they have a lot of CC, perhaps you could go for Mercury sets, but keep in mind, Glutinous Greaves is really good on Graves with this build. So after you finish the BF Sword, you build the Solaris Charge Blade, and this, after you finish this item, right, when you have the Nafori's Quick Blade, the BF Sword and the Solaris Charge Blade, this is where we enter the absolute powerhouse Graves, guys. The amount of damage that you're going to be dealing with these items is it's just out of the charts, honestly. It's just insane, but you just have to play him the right way. But I'll tell you more about that during the gameplay part of the video. So, by the way, the enchantment that I actually almost always go for is Protobelt. Now, let me give you an exception when I would not go for a Protobelt. By the way, sorry if I take breaks when talking. It's because I'm a little sick. Like I have something in my, I don't even know how to say it. Basically, sometimes I just have to swallow a little bit of water or something like that. So Protobelt is insane. Like the utility that it provides you, you're going to have your third ability, you're going to have Protobelt, you're going to have Flash. You can easily dive the backline of the enemy. You can easily just dive their backline and completely one-shot their backline. That's the whole point of Protobelt. Also, it's really good to dodge abilities. Like, let's say the enemy Riven is diving you, you can just dodge her knockups with your Protobelt, right? So Protobelt almost always on Graves, only if you're against champions like Zed, Fizz. I can't really think of other examples, but basically champions that just have this complete one-shot combination. Oh, Camille as well, perhaps. Camille, I don't recommend it against Camille, but against her ultimate. But you get what I'm talking about, right? Garen, just champions that you can utilize the stasis really well for. I actually always build it against a Fizz. because Fizz really destroys you. Because against a Z, you can use your third ability to gain armor, right? But against a Fizz, I would say you have to get a stasis enchant, but otherwise just get the proto belt. As your third item, finish off the Infinity Edge, right? After the BF sword, finish off the Infinity Edge. If the enemy has a lot of armor, it's hard to say, honestly. If they have a lot of armor, you have to decide for yourself, okay, am I gonna go for their backline, or do I really want to kill those champions with the armor? If it's the case that you really want to kill the champions with the armor, then instead of building the BF sword here in the beginning, you could actually build this item, the Last Whisper. You could choose to build the Last Whisper, or you could immediately build the Solari Charge Blade and then build Cyrilda's Grudge. It's just a bit situational, but in 90% of the games, Infinity Edge, right? Just build the Infinity Edge. But keep in mind, don't just build the Infinity Edge as your third item if you're against a lot of tanks and you have to kill those tanks, because you're really gonna need that Cyrilda's Grudge. And talking about Cyrilda's Grudge, I never recommend Mortal Reminder, because Cyrilda's Grudge gives you that slow, which is absolutely insane on Graves, guys. This is like also a core late game item on Graves. The slow that it provides you on your basic attacks, it's insane. Like 30% for 1 second might not seem like a lot, but guys, it's amazing when you use your abilities, when you like, it's just so good on Graves, guys. Really, it's really good. And as your last item, it's completely situational. Does the enemy have a lot of ability power? Then you build a With's End. You could perhaps build the With's End a little earlier if they really have a lot of ability power. Or if you're like an ability power Gragas in your lane, you could build this as your second item. If you're against the AP matchup, I'm gonna repeat because this is very important to understand. Only if you're against a heavy AP champion and like other ability power champions in the enemy team, then build the With's End. Otherwise, just don't build it. Essence Reefer. Now here we get into the items that I've tried on Graves, which are nice, but I don't recommend them. Essence Reefer is good because your first ability, your second ability, and your ultimate are gonna deal a lot of damage. So Essence Reefer is good if you want to do a lot of burst damage. But Nafori's Quick Blades in the long run is just way better, guys. And you're gonna have enough burst with the BF sword anyway, so don't go for Essence Reefer. I really don't recommend it. So as your last item, Guardian Angel. Generally, Guardian Angel, as I said, With's End is a possibility. Bloodthirster is also a possibility if the enemies have 0 grievous wounds, which is never gonna happen realistically, because they're always gonna have at least 1 grievous wounds item. But if they have 0, then you can build the Bloodthirster. Yeah, but if they have any anti-heal, don't build the Bloodthirster. Okay, let's now talk about the runes. So about the runes, let me do it like this. I used to go for Fleet Footwork. Used to, because I thought like, yeah, I need the Fleet Footwork in my lane, but no, you don't need it. Go for Conqueror. It's pretty easy to stack up the Conqueror. Basic attack, third ability, basic attack, first ability. You already have 4 stacks, right? And you can do that super fast. So that's why Conqueror is incredibly powerful, especially when you get those 5 stacks. Now about the second rune, I honestly go for Brutal. And the reason for that is because of the early game damage that it provides you, but also because on Graves, it's just, I feel like I die quite a lot on Graves, and that's just because of the way that Graves really works. Is you want to take those fights and then you get ganked, you could die, right? So Champion Rune is not going to be worth it because it only gives you 8%. Brutal, on the other hand, is going to give you damage up until the late game, right? It's not going to be the most damage late game, but it's just reliable and it's really powerful in the early game. That's why I recommend Brutal, guys. I've seen some people go for Triumph, but no. Triumph provides you 0 damage in your laning matchup, which is horrible. Horrible. You really need that damage in your laning matchup, and that's what Brutal provides to you. For my third rune, I generally like to go for Hunter Titan, but you could also go for Adaptive Carapace. Adaptive Carapace is really good if you really want to win your lane, because this one is really powerful in those 1v1 matchups, especially in the early game. But Hunter Titan is going to be way better in the late game. So if you get those takedowns, Hunter Titan is going to be infinitely better than the Adaptive Carapace. For your fourth rune, Sweet Tooth, because Sweet Tooth is broken. So about the spells, Flash and Barrier. That's right, Barrier. You may think Ignite would be better, but let me tell you why Barrier is better. Because the way that I see Graves is you can finish off enemies with your ultimate, and you can easily dash to enemies with your third ability. So it's going to be really hard for enemies to escape from you. And what Barrier is going to allow you to do, it's going to buy you time. Stop. So if they chase you, you can use your Barrier to tank up damage and keep fighting. And if you're chasing them, you're generally not gonna need the ignite to finish them off, because you have your ultimate, you have flash, you have your third ability, right? You have all those abilities to finish off the enemies. So that's why I really prefer barrier on Graves. So yeah, that was it about the build. Let's get into the gameplay. All right, on to the gameplay. So okay, you are gonna see a very tilting game. I also got tilted in this game. I didn't chat too much, but I really wanted to upload this video to show you guys just... okay, I just want to show you guys this video. You really have to see it. So, okay, let's now quickly talk about what I'm doing right now. I'm helping my jungler leash. Graves is probably the single best leasher in the game. Probably the best leasher. You can deal like 600 or 700 damage just from your leash and then go to your lane. Like, take a look at this. You basic attack, first ability, basic attack, and then basic attack, and you run to your lane. And when you're running to your lane, you use your first ability to last hit the minion. But here, like, my sound was glitched, and because of that stupid idiotic glitch of my sound, oh, I still got the minion. Because sometimes I don't get the minion because there's like a weird glitch in my game. I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but basically my sound won't go up and down. So yeah. Okay. The early game Graves, guys. I'm excited for this video because it's just such a nice thing. So Malphite is not the best matchup because he has that barrier. Graves is really good in short trades. So in the early game, you know, when you dash in, you use your first ability. He's really good at that, right? Oh, here, this was good. I just took his heal. It's true that I took some damage for it, but it's definitely worth it because I took his heal. This is a thing that Graves can actually do quite easily because you can dash on the heal with your third ability. Okay, I'm just gonna go through the abilities real quick. So the first ability is really good to just deal damage. It's really good to just shoot at your enemy and do a lot of damage, especially when the enemy is diving you, because you're gonna hit it guaranteed. You're gonna hit it guaranteed, right? When they're chasing you, your first ability is gonna come back to you, so you're gonna be hitting that damage guaranteed. And now let's talk about the second ability. This is probably the most underrated ability of Graves. Let me explain. This ability is a smoke screen. When you throw it on the ground, it will stay for like, what, 5 seconds or something? And when the enemy steps into the smoke screen, they literally cannot see anything. They cannot see anything, they just can't do anything. And this is so powerful, especially in team fights. If you throw it in the middle of the enemies and blindside like 3 enemies, the amount of value that it provides is insane. It's true that it doesn't deal damage. Well, it does deal damage, but like not a significant amount. But guys, this ability, I really want to encourage you to really pay attention, especially in team fights, where you want to throw this ability. Don't just randomly throw it on the ground just because you want to use it. Actually really think about where you want to throw it. Because I am telling you right now, this ability could potentially provide the most value out of all of your abilities in a team fight. Now let's talk about the third ability. And this is basically the whole thing with Graves. Because there's a lot of people don't really fully understand how the third ability works, but let me explain. So third ability is a dash, of course, right? And when you basic attack minions or enemies, the cooldown is going to reduce, right? The more bullets that you hit on the enemy, the more the cooldown is going to reduce. So what you want, and also after you use your third ability, you're going to reload one more shot. So the basic combo is basic attack, third ability, basic attack, basic attack. And the reason that you use your third ability after one basic attack is because if you need to pay attention to when I do it in game, is because how do I explain this and make it not sound super complicated? So you do basic attack, then you'll still have one shot. You use your third ability, which is gonna reload, and you're gonna have 2 shots again. And then you after you shoot those 2 shots, you're almost gonna have your third ability again. You're almost gonna have it again, because hitting a shot reduces your cooldown. As you can see, whenever I hit the enemy, it reduces the cooldown. And here, yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god, like my game. That was just so painful. How did I not get that kill? Oh, I don't really have anything to say about that. That just hurts. That really hurts. It hurts my heart as well, guys. Not only your heart, but also my heart. Okay, but now let's talk about more advanced things about the third ability. If you dash, you get a stack. And what this stack does, it gives you armor. Depending on the level of your third ability, it gives you more and more armor. But when you dash, it gives you armor for like a few seconds. And when you basic attack a jungle camp or an enemy champion, the duration is gonna refresh, right? Here, you can see the duration is gonna refresh whenever I basic attack the Rift Herald. You can see it over here. Here, just put your eyes on it. Whenever I dash, I get another stack, and when I hit the Rift Herald or an enemy team, the duration is gonna reset again. So here I died again. This was horrible. I went for the Rift Herald while my team was on the other side of the map. And I was just a bit tilted at this point, honestly. Like, I was really tilted right now. I was like, yeah, man, it's so annoying. Like, this game was so annoying for me. But yeah, about the third ability, when you dash towards an enemy champion, so if there is a champion here and you are here and you dash towards the champion, you don't get 1 stack, but you get 2 stacks. So not 1 stack, but 2 stacks. And this is what you have to utilize about the ability. So this is especially powerful in 1v1s, and well, this is actually always really powerful. Let me explain. So in a 1v1 situation, you want to use your third ability generally to dash towards the enemy. And when you do that, you're gonna get 2 stacks and bonus armor. And then when you dash again, you're gonna get another 2 stacks. And this really makes you tanky, guys. And this is like, the reason that this is so important is because you go full damage Graves. So the only tankiness that you have is the armor from your third ability, guys. That's why I'm saying that this is the most important ability of Graves to use well, right? You have to use this ability well by dashing towards your enemy. Here you can see, like, you don't even have to exactly dash towards your enemy. It's still gonna give you 2 stacks as long as you dash close to the enemy, right? So in team fights, when you get those 8 stacks, you're gonna get an insane amount of armor, and you really wanna keep fighting. And the reason for, well, generally, not always of course, but generally you wanna keep fighting, even if you think you're not gonna win the fight. Let me explain. Because you're gonna have Glutinous Greaves, which gives you 8% lifesteal, and you're gonna have a lot of armor. It depends on your level, but when you have 8 stacks, the amount of armor that you have is insane. It's like almost as much as having 2 tier 3 armor items. It's insane, guys. I'm serious. In the late game, it gives you 16 armor per stacks. So 8 times 16 is what? It's like 128 armor. So that 128, guys. That's how much armor you can get from your third ability. So that's why it's super important to use. And here I just got a turret, right? It's a free turret. I'm probably dead here. Like, this Malphite is pretty ahead of me. As you can see, like, I'm trying to fight him. I'm trying to use my third ability and just run around him. And like, hit with my flash, I tried to dodge his ultimate. I tried to predict it, but he just didn't use it. And after my flash, he used this ultimate. It was still fine for me to do that because, yeah, I got the turret. So I wanna... Oh, I should have paused the game there. I wanted to show... Oh, I want to show you something. Let me show you something here. Take a look at my amount of gold and the Malphite amount of gold. As you can see, he only has 100 gold more than me. Now take a look at my score and take a look at Malphite's score. I am 0-3. Malphite is 4-0, and I have the same amount of gold as him. Why, you may think? So first of all, because I took a turret, obviously. But there is another reason. And I wanna tell you something, that when I play Graves, I am almost always super ahead in gold, even if I'm like 0-1 or 0-2. But in this game I was actually 0-3, so I'm obviously not super ahead in gold. But let me tell you why. First of all, Graves can clear waves super fast. Secondly, Graves can take turrets super fast. And third of all, Graves can take the enemy jungle super fast. And this third thing is so important to understand. This is basically how you snowball on Graves, but also how to make a comeback on Graves. When you... Oh, nice, we got a kill. No, yeah, I killed the Ezreal, that was so good. So, okay, another thing that I have to say about the first ability is, so you can either shoot it on nothing. When you do that, it's gonna like shoot forwards and then come backwards. But you can also shoot it on a wall. If you shoot it on a wall, it will immediately come back. So it's gonna be like boom, boom. It's gonna come back like boom, boom, you know, super fast boom. Instead of boom, boom, it's gonna be boom, boom. And that quick boom there killed the Ezreal, as you saw there. So I chose to shoot my first ability on the wall there. Because, oh, the Ari actually stole it, that was insane. Because I could just deal an insane amount of burst damage like that. And whenever you can, shoot your first ability on a wall. Because it's just better, because it provides you burst damage. It's kind of funny, because I am 1-4 and the Malphite is 4-0. And I actually have more gold than the Malphite. That's how insane Graves is. That's how insane Graves is with actually taking farm, or farming up gold, right? He's so fast at getting gold if you just play him the right way. And I just told you what you have to do. Farm your wave, farm turrets, and farm jungle camps. Here you can see I'm also farming my jungle, and I'm actually only farming these minions because the other minions are for my jungler. But these minions, I don't know what they're called. Junglers generally don't take them. So whenever you have nothing to do, just take them, because Graves takes them super fast. It's like free 250 or 300 gold, literally for free. Let's take a look at this fight. Boom, boom. I missed. No. But look at this damage. Oh my god, look at this, look at it. Double kill. Oh yeah, look at that. And we're back into the game, baby. We're back into the game. We are damn back into the game. I cannot scream because it's like almost 3 AM right now. But we are back into the game, guys. Look at how strong Graves can be in situations like that. So the reason that I was actually able to kill all of them is because Graves is an absolute powerhouse against squishy enemies. You generally want to be picking Graves into squishy enemies, because all you have to do is just dive on them and try to get close to them, because if you stay far away, you're not going to be able to hit your full basic attack on them. But when you get super close to them, you're going to be able to hit all your bullets on them, right? Because that's the way that Graves works. He shoots like four bullets, and when you crit, he shoots a few more. I don't exactly know how many, but he shoots more when you crit. And when you get close to the enemy, you're going to be able to hit more bullets, thus dealing more damage and also reducing the cooldown of your third ability faster. So that's also very important. You want to get really close to the enemy. Here, just like that. Saw that last shot? I was super close to him. It dealt full damage. And here, you know, I'm not gonna do anything. I am gonna take jungle. At this point, I basically made my comeback, but I want to make it as bad as possible for the enemy. And the way I can do that is taking all of their jungle as well, because as I said, Graves is one of the fastest jungler takers as a Baron laner. Here, I wanted to take these minions too, but they were not up. Like here, you'll see. Like I'm just gonna get everything, even the big fat brown guy. I am gonna take everything. Now I'm not gonna leave anything for them. You saw there, it only took me 3 seconds, or 2 seconds. Like yeah, 3 seconds, and I got 140 gold and experience. And now you can see, even though I was super behind, now I have the most gold of my whole team as a Graves. And let me tell you that this is actually normal. This always happens when I play Graves. Like, you know that you're playing Graves the right way if you always have the most amount of gold, because you're really supposed to. Because as like, I'm not gonna repeat it. I told you the reason already. You have to do those things. Here you can see that it's actually still gonna be pretty hard for me to fight tanks, even though I am pretty, like, I'm not super ahead, but I'm pretty ahead. Because that's kind of the weakness of Graves. That's where you have to buy the Cyrilda's Grudge. Boom. Boom. I'm just stacking up my armor as well. Here you can see, look at how much armor I have. And look at how much damage I'm dealing. Just look at the armor that I have. They can't, like, look, he can't kill me. He can't kill me. He just can't kill me when I stack up my armor. That is what I was talking about. When you stack up those stacks of the armor of the third ability, the enemy attack damage champions are literally gonna deal 0 damage to you. You're gonna be like a Garen or something to them. I'm not even kidding, guys. This is serious. You are gonna be so damn tanky after you stack that third ability, but only against attack damage champions, right? Not against ability power, because it only gives you armor. Here again, just look at this. Look at the madness of me clearing this jungle. The speed of me clearing the jungle is just absurd. Here. Now I got a blue buff, I'm almost level 14. Taking everything, I can get my Cyrilda's Grudge. And at this point... No. At this point, it's not over. So at this point, your playstyle has to change. So, I hate to say it, but generally in the late game, Graves is not the most powerful team fighter. Like, he's definitely not bad. He's not bad at team fighting. He's really good if you can reach the enemy backline. But he's very vulnerable because it's just he doesn't have a lot of range. And you really have to get super close to the enemies to do a lot of damage. And of course, if there's 5 enemies and you get super close to them, they're all gonna kill you, right? So, whoa, what happened to my screen? Something just happened. But what Graves is good at is split pushing and 1v1s. He's really good at 1v1s and really good at split pushing. So of course what I'm doing here is I'm not gonna go with my team. I'm gonna split push on my own, because this is the power of Graves, guys. You can 1v1 champions and you can push turrets incredibly fast. Just look at this turret, guys. Boom, boom. Here. How crazy is this damage? Just how crazy is it? This is what Graves can do, guys. This is what Graves can do with the new items. By the way, guys, give the video a like if you're enjoying it. It helps the channel a lot, and you know, just give the video a like if you're liking it, and subscribe if you haven't. Or what? Look at that! What is that damage, man? What is that damage? This is Graves, man. Huh. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video where I actually got wrecked in the early game, and I chose to upload this one because I was pretty sure that you were gonna enjoy it. So let's take a look at how much damage I did and everything like that. Because that early game was horrible. It was horrific. We were like losing so hard. Not only me, but also the rest of my team. Damn, there it is. 20. I dealt the most damage. Pooh. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.